And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Welcome back. In his latest major shakeup within the Catholic Church, Pope Francis has removed a conservative American cardinal from the Vatican's powerful congregation of bishops. Cardinal Raymond Burke came to the Vatican in 2008 after serving as Archbishop of St. Louis. He's been an outspoken critic of abortion and same-sex marriage, and recently gave an interview in which he raised concerns about the Pope's comments that the Church should reduce its focus on those issues. Cardinal Burke will still serve as chief judge of the Vatican's highest court, but the New York Times reports his removal from the Congregation for Bishops will sharply reduce his influence. And to replace Cardinal Burke, the Pope named the current Archbishop of Washington, D.C., Cardinal Donald Rule, who is considered to be an ideological moderate more in line with the Pope. Meantime, today, the leading gay rights magazine in the U.S., The Advocate, followed in the footsteps of Time magazine, naming Pope Francis as its Person of the Year. All of this comes as the Pope celebrated his 77th birthday today by inviting several homeless men to his morning mass, including one who, even you see in the picture there, brought his pet. Afterwards, they all ate breakfast together.
A cordial Vatican meeting between the president of Argentina and the new Pope, with the two Argentines exchanging gifts. But their get-together Monday was in sharp contrast to the war of words between the two leaders less than 3 years ago. In mid-2010, Argentina was polarized over a same-sex marriage bill supported by Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, who called the Church's actions against the measure attitudes reminiscent of medieval times and the Inquisition. Then Cardinal Jorge Bergoglio blasted the bill, dubbing it a destructive attack on God's plan.
La Iglesia ha pedido.
The Church has asked Catholics to oppose this, and that's exactly what I'm doing as a Catholic.
But some say the future pontiff was much more conciliatory than he appeared. Marcelo Marquez is a gay rights activist and former theology professor at a Catholic seminary near the Argentine capital. He says Bergoglio told him in private in 2010 that he favored gay rights and went as far as saying he didn't oppose gay civil unions.
He told me that he understands that homosexual people should have their rights protected in society. He also said he believed that Argentina was not ready for a gay marriage law, but said he would favor a law granting civil unions.
Marquez says the meeting happened after he sent Bergoglio this letter on behalf of gay Catholics supporting the same-sex marriage bill. The New York Times reported Wednesday that at a private meeting of bishops, also in 2010, Cardinal Bergoglio advocated that the Church in Argentina support the idea of civil unions for gay couples. A senior Vatican official said the Roman Catholic Church could neither confirm nor deny the report at this point. The official added that while Pope Francis might have expressed such view while he was a cardinal, he should be given time to develop his policy position as pontiff. Marquez, who still describes himself as a devout Catholic, says in a second meeting, the then cardinal gave him an autographed copy of a book titled The Jesuit, based on his life and works as priest. Marquez says Bergoglio once again touched upon the topic of gay rights in Argentina. Marcelo, first of all, I want you to know that I have always treated gay people with respect and dignity, the future pontiff said, according to Marquez. I have accompanied many homosexual people during my career to tend to their spiritual needs. Rafael Ramos, CNN, Atlanta.
Just in time for his 77th birthday today, Pope Francis has been named Person of the Year for a second time in less than a week. Last week, of course, it was Time magazine who bestowed the big honor, and today, the oldest gay rights magazine in the United States, The Advocate, named the Pope the Person of the Year. While 2013 will be remembered for the work of hundreds in advancing marriage equality, it will also be remembered for the example of one man in the same way that President Obama transformed politics with his evolution on LGBT civil rights. A change from the Pope could have a lasting effect on religion. The online magazine points to this statement from the Pope in July as a sign of shifting thought in the Catholic Church, which has 1.2 billion members worldwide.
Se una persona è gay e cerca il Signore, e ha buona volontà, ma chi sono io per giudicarla?
The Pope tweeted today, "The love of God is not generic. God looks with love upon every man and woman, calling them by name." Pope Francis, who has recently been called a Marxist by conservative critics like Rush Limbaugh for his focus on income inequality, celebrated his birthday today with a group of homeless men who joined him for Mass and breakfast. Joining me now, the chaplain of the Last Word's official chaplain, Father James Martin. And you have a new book out here, the Big Heart, A Big Heart Open to God. Oh, wait, it's in the teleprompter. I should read it there instead of on the book. Big Heart Open to God, a conversation with Pope Francis. And you know what? We're going to do this is going to be a book promo segment.
Fantastic.
Keep the book right here the whole time, just in time for Christmas.
Just in time for Christmas.
Let's see, how much? $17.99, but you know,
it's a steal.
Yeah, you can get it at Amazon, it'll be cheaper. The really interesting development with this Cardinal Raymond Burke, who was on the Congregation of Bishops. The Pope has removed him, and we have something about what Cardinal Burke said about the Pope wanting to re-emphasize and take the emphasis away from things the Church has been talking about. Let's listen to what Cardinal Raymond Burke said.
I'm not exactly sure why he mentioned it. One gets the impression, or it's interpreted this way in the media, that he thinks we're talking too much about abortion, too much about the integrity of marriage as between one man and one woman. But we can never talk enough about that.
I don't know. I think we can talk enough about that.
Well, and that's about as strong as you're going to get from a cardinal disagreeing with a pope.
Yes, I've never seen anything quite like it.
It's a very gentle disagreement. But, you know, in our interview in this Big Heart Open to God, the Pope says that we have been too focused on certain issues, and that's one of the issues. That's not to say he doesn't think it's important, but there are other issues that also need to come to the fore, and he was very clear about that.
And where do you see how much more of this kind of bump are we going to see in the road for the Pope, where there are these public disagreements with more conservative cardinals?
Well, that's a very good question. I wonder if more cardinals will be, if they do disagree with him, will be emboldened to, make their disagreement known. I think it's healthy for the Church. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But the Pope also is very strong about what he wants to do in the Church.
And is this being taken in the Church and among cardinals as, hey, that's a firing? This is just somebody who the Pope moved out of that position because he disagreed with him and he didn't want to hear more from him.
Well, it's certainly an indication that he wants new blood. He appointed Cardinal Worrell, who's the Archbishop of Washington, into the position, and so he definitely wants someone who thinks a little differently, I would say, than Cardinal Burke.
Are you hearing back here any of the Pope's personal reaction to the reaction he's getting out there in the world?
Yeah, he says in this interview, in A Big Heart, he says, I'm getting criticized. And, but, the sort of response that he has is, that sort of goes with the job.
I mean, he's getting a huge positive. Look, the Advocate picks the Pope as the person of the year, and that's inconceivable. I mean, there's an amazing kind of positive reaction to him from people who've never had a positive reaction to a Pope.
Which is fantastic. I mean, he's drawing people to the Church. More importantly, he's drawing people to God. So I think it's fantastic. And if the Advocate puts him on the cover in Time magazine, if that draws more people to him and to God, great.
Father Martin, thank you very much for joining us once again.
My pleasure.